You have the connection too.
I do have the next one. So what this is an hourly not to exceed contract for $5,500 based on their rate schedule. Scope of this work is to provide us with assistance with rate determination, including coordination with UMBAL, meetings and revisions to set priorities and phasing of projects, and separating costs between three stakeholders. When they gave the original master plan to UMBAL requested that BF&S split the water project out in terms of what is needed for maintenance of the current system as opposed to what is needed for increased capacity, and then what percentage use do we have on both of those items. The same was done for the wastewater side of things. Wastewater side, the calculations are a little different because some of the processes are dependent on loading or poundage. Some of the processes are dependent on flow. So DF&S, actually I think they've already been working on this to get those numbers to UMBAL. We have a water and wastewater utility evaluation, assistance with rate determination not to exceed $5,500. I don't think you have that in there, Dick. I don't know.
Well,
I think I gave it to you last week, but
okay.
yeah, that's
That
it.
was in Thursday, back. I would move that we approve that cost not to exceed $5,500.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve assistance with rate determination, BF&S not to exceed $5,500. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And the last item is supplemental agreement number 2. This is for raw water main design. Let me see what that. So this is for $45,100, which includes $2,100 in topographical survey, $15,000 in designing the piping, and I assume the controls from well 3 to well 5, and then the line back from the generator from well 5 to well 3. $3,000 for construction observation, and then $25,000 for construction inspection once this goes to bid, for a total of $45,100. Do we have any questions for Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's.
Is that electrical and everything?
Pardon me?
Is that the electrical and everything? I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna design everything and you're gonna go through the bidding process, that's all the way through?
On the front page there where we list the scope, it's for bidding documents, bidding assistance, construction observation, and construction inspection for 1,500 feet of water main between 3 and 5.
Craig, what do you say?
We need to get the raw water main going, but I haven't seen the supplemental, so I don't know what's involved with it.
This is a new well, or well we deepen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so does it include the study on for need to treat your water?
What do you mean? That's already been conducted under the previous, either the supplement or the original contract. Is that correct?
So when he comes back, you should have information what's going to cost to treat it, hook them up, and the whole nine yards.
Well, what we're going to do, we've tossed around a lot of different ideas. If we chlorinated it on site at well 3, we would have to use liquid chlorine, which Craig is not too fond of at well 6. What this would do is allow us to pipe it to well 5, use gas chlorination at well 5. So then I think it's within our permit. Like, you can say no.
No, I think they're checking on that, but I think they're pretty sure it was.
So we'll be able to treat both of them at one location.
Yes. They still have a hydrogen sulfide concentration, so it would still be stinky water comparable to well number 1, but this is a short-term fix. As what Peerless Midwest projected, one of our wells could break suction at the end of this year, one at the end of next year. So it looks like this well could replace the quantity that we get out of well 5.
And this is, we're talking about maybe 7 to 10 years, buy us that much time to be able to get new wells. We're hoping.
I don't know. I don't know if they've done interference tests on if well 1 and well 3 are running at the same time.
And what percentage of this sticky water would be in the total system then?
Well, if we were in this well, most likely well 5 wouldn't be operational. So if we're running max capacity of 1,000 gallons a minute, minimum 2/3 probably, the stinky water would be in the total system.
Not good.
It beats no water in the system.
But the idea was we really were not going to use the well 3 unless there was an emergency and we had to. So they would continue using well 5, but if you started running low on water, you could use well 3 and then you would have to put up with sulfite in the water.
But we have to have a backup for item anyhow, and that's for backup, maybe stinky water, at least it's a backup they need in order for us to stay operating, right?
Right.
Have per se.
What's the firm capacity? I mean, we're fine on firm capacity. If well 5 goes out of service according to IDEM, between wells 1, 3, 1, 4, and 6, our firm capacity is sufficient? According to IDEM?
No. You have to have all 3 up and going.
You know what the reference is.
You're not gonna have them finish when well 1 and 3 to get what you can get produced out of them. And well 5 is only rated for 1,000 gallon a minute. So the only time well 3 is run is if well 5 is down. As of right now, we could possibly get 400 gallons more per minute with well 3 and well 5 going. But well 3 won't be run unless we absolutely need it. So,
Let's give us the excess capacity, we can go out to quarry and deepen that one, or get it out, fix it, we can do the repairs on it, so we can be assured to have the capacity out of it too.
I didn't hear.
Can we
allow us to go out and
lower
stone quarry,
the
make
pump on
repairs on
well
that?
5?
Not with this run, not with this project. Unless we're in the electric, more power for it.
If you look at the steps where we need to get backup,
Yeah.
well 5 and 4, that's 3. We also are looking at treating well 3, which if we treat it, if we decide to do that, then it would be good water.
Let's say treating for hydrogen sulfides. We're going to treat the water with
Yeah.
chlorine chloride.
But one of the game plans is to be able to take one of the quarry and lower it to be able to get capacity, more capacity.
Possibly,
out
if
of
we
it.
have enough capacity in the system without well 5 in the system.
This is the first step to get the raw water main over there, and then the treatment will come, which would then we can lower level 5 and get more capacity.
In time frame of getting those back, we're making a decision on, of course, you got a rate increase still, I understand, but time frame to do this.
Do well 3?
Another time frame to have the contracts back where we can say, hey, we're ready to let the contract, let's make it happen so we have more water.
On which project?
Everything it would take to get this well you're talking about up and operating.
We would plan to do this
To
in
get well
2017.
3, to get well 3 so we could use it is like in August, just when we let the bid.
Or we take out a bond.
That's,
And then after that, treatment, if you want to get the treatment going, we're probably talking about 6 to 9 months after that.
still we're talking less than a year, hopefully we have the project operating.
Well, so, just so no one misunderstands,
And I think we're too.
the whole goal is to get a new well field.
Well, we all understand that, we need to have something in the meantime.
Well, I
That's what we're
understand, so, with so many things being said here, some people think that, well, okay, if you get well 3 and well 5, and you drop the pump in well 5, and suddenly we don't have a water issue.
doing. That's still 7-year fix or maximum, right?
I understand, that's correct, and that's why I just want to make sure everyone understands that the current wells that we have, these are simply temporary modifications to make sure that we have an adequate supply of water until the north well field is online, just so that no one misunderstands it.
We don't have any choice, we gotta do this.
Well, we understand that, I just, as 12 people that's in this room walk out of here and say something else, it's easy to misunderstand that well 3 is on, we lower the pump in well 5, if we can do that, then suddenly we can all breathe easily, and that's not where we're at. This is just an emergency. At the event that we have an emergency, well 3 steps in to fill that gap.
And I think we made the right choices.
I think so too.
I knows we could deny this supplemental. I don't think we're done. So, with that,
In fact, I would move that we
All right.
approve the supplemental for the raw water main design.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to approve supplemental agreement number 2 at a price increase of $45,100. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's all the business that I had on the agenda. We'll move next to Board of Public Works and Safety members' comments and requests. Mr. Bradshaw?
I hope that people, enough people in this community try to understand the water situation. We got lots of water, it's just that it's not the water we want or need. And the North Well Field is our salvation in the future, years from now, probably. It's got a lot of great water, and I think it'll help us. There's gonna be a lot of misunderstanding, consternation, and so on and so forth among folks. They say, why should we do this? Why do we need to do this? Well, we've got customers that want water, and we need to plan ahead, and this is really planning ahead. When I got on this, I didn't realize we're not talking about doing some of this in months, we're talking about doing some of this in years. So we really need to try to get the public to understand that we think we're taking the most reasonable, economic approach to this. Economically, it's gonna cost all of us more. Hopefully, we won't have to pump well 3 until at least we have aeration on it, which we're probably looking at a year at best. But at least we'll have the water from well 3 if we have to have it.
Thank you, Mr. Bradshaw. Anything further? Mr. Dowd? Clerk Treasurer Aldrich. Members of the public? Yes, sir.
Pipe BC needs more water, but I've heard the problem is we need a bigger pipe up there. When's that designed in that?
I don't know if I don't think our plans included a larger pipe up there. We have additional piping from the north of the creek to the south of the creek, but I don't think we have a bigger pipe in the place of where it is now.
So that's going to be another cost obstacle. Sooner or later, they expand, we're going to need more capacity to get water. Right?
No, what our utility master plan, they gave us the numbers on the water side. Once they do an expansion and get operating with that expansion, I think they requested 1.5 million gallons a day on a peak day. They gave us the numbers on the sewage side as well. So that master plan figures those numbers into those capacities. So the master plan should have all that in there, or account for all that.
But looking at the town, that's where the growth is going to be, industrial-wide, everything, so we're going to need more water uphill sooner or later, right? More capacity up the hill.
Well, if our engineer can get us 2.5 million gallons of water up the hill, I think they can get us
It should work, shouldn't it?
additional million or two if that time comes in the future. But we're accounting for, what, 1.45 million gallons to the TIF district out of the 1.5 million gallon expansion, so water should be flowing up the hill if it's designed right.
But that's not anything we're doing yet, right? Design on increasing the, or you don't think increasing needed.
We've got a preliminary design for a master plan for both water and sewage. There's a few things that we're tweaking with it, phasing on it. So we've got a 699-page document that highlights all that.
Is that going to be involved in this first go around of the bonding? I mean, the cost of that will be in the first bonding we're doing here, then it comes second one.
Who said the bonding?
Well, you're going to have to bond to get money to do the utilities. That's one of the things, so again, that bond issue, you get more water going to those through the back end on that.
We're just gonna ask for donations, I think. Think that'll work?
We're not bonding the well 3 to well 5 project. We shouldn't have to. We should be able to take it out of available bond funds that we have now.
But we're looking to the future in 3 or 4 years. Remember, we've got the bond to be able to do that. I know the master plan that we're together is going to include that. It may happen 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road.
You're confusing me because you keep saying we got the bond to do that, and I think you're referring to well 3.
No, bonding to get the lines up on the hill, because I think that's where the growth of Delphi is going to be.
That bond will include everything that we need to do to get the additional capacity. Although we may be phased, but
But
that
that is for pumping and additional storage, and additional sizing, with all in combination.
So don't you think that's where Delphi's going to grow, the area, industrial wide and everything, that's where the water needs going to be in town in the next 5 to 10 years, I think.
it'd be nice if it was on the north side, it'd be a lot easier to get it there.
No land available there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Yes, ma'am?
I'm wondering,
Stop.
has there been any progress made in budgeting the water and the wastewater departments? Sam, you talked about that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Thought it was a swell idea. I haven't heard any more about it. No,
Too much going on.
Yeah, it's, sometimes kind of like pushing
well,
peanut uphill.
I know. And when was it decided that the city agreed to connect water and sewer to the community center building? Was that in a vote?
No, that was, they asked me. So,
So
sometime
ratepayers are gonna pay for that?
for the connection?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a vote?
Any other public comment? One last motion.
We adjourn?
Second.
Good.